Message for anybody that is going through a period in their life where they're not understanding who they are as a person, as an individual. They lost who they are, their identity, because they chose to follow the crowd. They chose to follow drugs, alcohol, illicit sex, all this different stuff that the world has to offer you. That they call it fun and partying and whatnot. Uh, I have something to say about this subject because I lived it for over. I'm 29 years old now. I got into that type of lifestyle when I was 11 years old, where I started to want to be cool and whatnot, and I did all that the world had to offer. Everything that they told you that pleasure will come out of it, I did it. And what I found was I got more depressed and more. I lost my mind. I lost my identity. I lost everything that mattered to me, all the valuable things. And then after a while, I had to fake like I was still happy in front of my friends. I had to fake like it was still as enjoyable as it was at first. Meanwhile, I was having to see therapists and psychologists and take pills to keep me calm and whatnot. And I just have a feeling a lot of people out there are going through these things. I used to have a lot of pressure in my brain, like basically, I felt like my brain was like inflated in one way. Like my brain, it just felt so pressurized, man. Like I just wanted to get a needle and suck out the blood, so I could get some space in my skull for my brain to breathe. I remember these days, I remember the oppression of demons just breathing on me at night, the hot breath on my face. I remember the voices in my head. I remember the dissatisfaction and the distastefulness of what I thought about myself and what I thought about others. I remember just very hateful towards me and towards everything else. And the only thing that I would do day and night to calm myself down was, like watch a lot of TV, isolate myself, drink or take pills, and eat junk food and just basically waste my life in that fashion. I found myself like basically, wasting away, but then not understanding why at the same time. I just didn't understand how I came to this point in my life where like I lost so much. I've been, I treated everybody around me, my family, very, very like poorly. But I didn't get raised that way. I got raised to treat everybody good and whatnot. But drugs will make you a monster. Even the best caring, loving person in their heart turns them into a monster. You steal from the people you love, and you do a bunch of things. And I'm talking to people that are come from that background. I went to rehab 3 different times, and I did everything that I could for myself to try to get out of that lifestyle. But the friends that I was affiliated with, they would knock on my door and they would look for me and they would come and and then they would just kind of snatch me back into that lifestyle, and I couldn't escape it no matter what I tried to do. I remember that I tried to get my GED, because I didn't graduate high school. I dropped out. I wanted to be a cool guy, so I dropped out, and I just wanted to get my life back together, but I was having a very hard time because I was paranoid. I was just like everywhere. I was everywhere at once in my head. Like I was not doing well at all. I can't say that about myself anymore. I have a lot of good things that I can say about myself today. And what I what's common sense for a lot of people wasn't common sense for me. And basically, what I mean by that is that I was feeding myself garbage over and over again. Garbage television, like, the first 48 and all this garbage TV of just like ghost hunters and you name it, bro. Just garbage TV and just people murdering other people, and I was watching that and I was just like training my mind. I was just repeatedly watching these shows, and it was a filter, what goes in your head. Then I would go out into the real world and I'd be like, oh man, I'd be freaking out, man, because I was thinking that those things were gonna happen to me. Number one, step one, don't watch, TV that's gonna intoxicate or corrupt or contaminate your mind. you got to protect your mind, because this right here is going to keep you sane and keep you going and level headed towards, if you have any goals in life, if you want to be anybody special, if you want to be somebody, that has money and a family and just peace and all that. You can't You gotta guard your mind, and you gotta feed it nutritional things, watch inspirational things, watch people that succeed in life, feed yourself those kinds of food to your mind, you know what I mean. But basically, I used to watch a lot of garbage TV. I used to intoxicate myself, um, as a good time, you know what I mean. It all started like it was a good time, but later on it was more routine. It was like, oh, it's Friday, let's go play pool and let's get banged up, and it was like a routine. It was just, but that was all my lifestyle consisted of, that just that this routine, and I had no kind of light in my life, no positivity. There was nothing. And I remember late night I would watch Joel Osteen on TV, and he would say a lot of positive things through the TV, and it would be like water and food to my soul. And I just felt that was the only thing that I felt like it was good for me, man. Everything else, I just felt like it was death, but I felt that was life. So he so it was Joel Osteen that sowed seeds into my life that made me get on my knees and just basically start praying to God, and I had crosses all over. I felt like I was demon possessed. I felt a bunch of things pulling me always to do the wrong thing. Even if I didn't want to do it, I always found myself doing it, and I would cry not to do these things. Like I didn't, I used to do cocaine, and like I would cry, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. Simultaneously, my hand is by itself doing this, and I'm like, bro, this is just like, this is nightmare. And I really visualized myself in hell. I really visualized, I saw myself in hell, like not like in the spirit realm, and I saw demons whooping on me over and over again, and I saw myself in a dark, dark place with no light whatsoever. And it was one of the scariest things that you can ever experience, because there's no light, but there's things in that place with you that you can't see, and those things are there, and there's no light for you to see, and they're, you hear them and they're hitting you, and all the rest. Is the scariest thing in the world. And so as I live my life in that fashion over and over again, day by day, day by day by day, living it like in a way where I was just self-destructive and destructive all around me, and I just found myself like very suicidal, depressed, hopeless. Like I can't get up out of this. I just found myself doing anything and everything that produced pleasure, like masturbating, watching pornography, smoking, drinking, popping pills, trying to pick up chicks online and whatnot. That was my daily activities every day. But back to Joel Osteen, I watched him on TV, and I felt like this was my only hope. So I would pray to God, and I just felt like every now and again I'd feel God's presence just come over me and just let me know, what, everything's gonna be okay. And my family tried to do like they're in the religion of Santeria, so they try to do work on me to get me up, to get better and whatnot. But it only kind of, everything got worse every time they would try to do things like that. Remember, I just wanted peace in my head, bro. Like the epitome of what I wanted in life was just like, give me peace. I only want peace. Like, get these voices out of my head. Allow me to just rest. I used to sleep 17 hours a day. I used to sleep 17 hours a day. And when I woke up on the 17th hour of the day, I would go to Walgreens. I would buy a bottle of NyQuil. I would chug it just to get drowsy enough to go right back to sleep. I didn't want to live. Every time I opened up my eyes, I would remember that, like, oh, I'm alive, and like I would look around and everything was just like not what I wanted it to be. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror because of how ashamed and guilty I felt about myself. I would curse at myself, and I would punch myself repeatedly. I always had like a little bruise right here, because I would punch myself, like hard, and like I'd burn myself, and I do these things because I'd have so much self hatred towards me. But later on I found out these were demons operating through me. And when I started to get on my knees, I found that, it led me to church, and I started going to church. And I later found out that a bunch of my problems were spiritual and not so much physical. Yeah, a lot of things that I did to myself, like contaminating myself with a bunch of drugs, that's physical. So I had to deal with a lot of that stuff. I had to detox and stuff like that. But a lot of it was spiritual too. And I won't get to that in this video, but I just want to share the hope that I received and the grace and the salvation and just basically the new life that I have in Jesus Christ. And I kid you not, I kid you not, I swear to you, He can save you. I don't care where you are, what position you are in life, what you've done. I don't care how bad in shape you are, schizophrenia, bipolar, a manic depressant. I was all those things, psychotherapy, all that crap. I went through it. I was there for years and years and years. I can relate. I can tell you that I know what it feels like. I was completely out of it. Baker acted, the whole 9 yards. And today, I have absolutely, this is not propaganda. This is not anything. This is free. Get Jesus Christ into your life. I promise you, I swear to you, Jesus Christ freed me from everything that I wanted to be free from. Drugs and alcohol, tobacco, lust, like pornography and all that crap. All that had me bound. Like I couldn't even freaking move. Like these are the things that I had to rush to. As soon as I woke up, I was like, I have to smoke a cigarette. As soon as I woke up, after that I had to watch porn. As soon as I one thing after another, I was a slave. These things had a hold of me. I didn't have a hold of it. And later on, I found out it was demons, and they started casting out those demons. I got baptized over 7 times. I gave my life to Jesus over 11 times because I wanted to make it official. The more times I repeated Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, the more light that came into my life. And today I can tell you that I have the most sanity, the most hope, the most peace, the most enlightenment. I feel like I have so much to offer anybody that's in distress. I come from the gutter of gutters. I used to get in fights. I've been shot. I used to run away from the police. I've been in car wrecks. They should have killed me. I've been through the gutter of gutters. I know what that lifestyle of sin produces. And I now know what the lifestyle of Jesus Christ, not religion, but if you invite Him into your life and you let Him work on you, I'm a product of what can happen, and I have a family today. A dude that never thought in a million years that he could have anything related to what I have today. I have property. I have a property that I live in, a nice apartment. I have 2 cars. I have a job. I'm not bragging about me. I'm bragging about what He has done for me. I'm bragging about the grace that God had brought into my life. I simply started to go to church day in and day out. I made church my foundation. I made Jesus Christ the church I went to. I just sought Him. I changed. They told me, change your music, change your TV, change these, everything that your friends, everything. I did it all, bro, and it changed my whole entire life. And if you're as desperate as I was, and I'm still desperate to keep it, this will work. And if you're as desperate as me, you'll look up YouTube videos and you'll try to find out if there's anybody out there that can help you. Well, I'm telling you right now, this is the video that Jesus Christ wants you to watch so that you can get what I have double. I'm telling you the truth. You can have so much of the salvation and the hope and all the grace and all the light and all the peace that I have. He has it for you too, and He wants to give it to you. All you have to do is say Jesus Christ with your heart. Say, Jesus Christ, come into my life. I really want to be radically transformed, just like this dude. Change me. Just change me. And you do it as many times as you need to do it. Alright? We're not going to be religious about it. We're really inviting Him inside of your life so that He could really do the work. And however desperate you are, that's how many times you're going to say it until it actually happens. Because that's what I did. And today, I'm grateful. I have everything I ever wanted. And this is a true message from a true man that came from hell and now I'm going to heaven.